Picture a morning in a Seoul apartment. A mother calls her son, Minjun, for school. But he's lost in play, homework unfinished, socks forgotten, distracted by every toy in sight. She repeats his name, urgency rising, as he drifts from one distraction to another. Is this just childhood energy, or something more? This is a question echoing in homes across Korea. Today's children face more pressure than ever, longer hours, tougher subjects, and constant competition. When a child struggles to focus or seems endlessly restless, parents wonder, is this normal? Or is my child falling behind? Teachers might suggest attention issues. Friends share stories of ADHD diagnoses and medication. Suddenly, ADHD is part of everyday conversation, from parent-teacher meetings to online forums. As caregivers, we see our children's strengths and struggles up close, making us the first to notice when something feels off. The line between typical behavior and a deeper issue is blurry and heavy with worry. Navigating this uncertainty is a journey, one filled with observation, advice-seeking, and decisions that shape our children's futures. This story is for every parent searching for clarity and support in a confusing landscape. Let's explore what's really happening behind these everyday struggles. The numbers confirm what many parents feel. ADHD diagnoses in South Korea are soaring. A decade ago, ADHD seemed rare. Now, nearly every classroom has students being evaluated or treated. Korea's National Health Insurance Service reports that the number of children treated for ADHD has more than doubled in just 5 years. In 2021, over 100,000 young people received treatment. By 2025, that number surpassed 200,000. This isn't just increased awareness, it's a dramatic shift, especially among elementary-aged boys. Teachers struggle to manage classrooms where many students have trouble focusing or sitting still. The pressure to identify and address these issues early is intense for both educators and parents. The conversation has shifted from, "Is this a problem?" to, "How do we fix it?" Factors like changing diagnostic practices, societal pressures, and a willingness to seek help all play a role. Understanding this surge is the first step to providing the right support for our children. ADHD isn't just about being energetic. It's a neurodevelopmental condition affecting the brain's executive functions, planning, focusing, and managing tasks. Symptoms fall into 3 categories: inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Inattention looks like distraction, disorganization, and forgetfulness. Hyperactivity is the constant fidgeting or inability to sit still. Impulsivity means interrupting, blurting out answers, or struggling to wait their turn. Diagnosing ADHD isn't simple. There's no blood test. It's based on careful observation and input from parents, teachers, and the child. Behaviors must be persistent, occur in multiple settings, and significantly interfere with daily life. A child who's energetic at home but focused at school may not have ADHD. Our perceptions and expectations can influence whether a child's behavior is labeled as problematic. That's why it's crucial to be thorough, patient, and objective before seeking a diagnosis. The responsibility to observe carefully lies with all of us. Korean clinics have seen a dramatic shift since 2015. Once, seeing a psychiatrist for a child's behavior was rare and stigmatized. Now, clinics are flooded with requests for ADHD evaluations. Mass screenings in schools using checklists from teachers and parents have become common. These tools flag at-risk children, but also contribute to rising diagnosis rates. Boys are diagnosed far more often than girls, likely because their symptoms are more disruptive and visible. Girls with ADHD often go unnoticed, as their symptoms are quieter: daydreaming, forgetfulness, or seeming unmotivated. The average age of diagnosis is dropping. Children as young as 6 or 7 are now being evaluated and medicated. Early intervention is seen as key to academic success in Korea's competitive system. Parents and doctors are increasingly proactive, hoping to prevent children from falling behind. But this trend raises questions about overdiagnosis and the pressure to fit every child into a narrow mold. Are we helping or just labeling? Korea's education system is world-renowned for rigor, but the pressure is immense. Children endure long hours at school and cram schools, often studying late into the night. This environment makes ADHD symptoms more noticeable, and sometimes worse. A child who needs to move or think creatively may struggle in a system built for quiet, focused learners. Traits once seen as energetic or imaginative are now labeled as deficits. Sleep deprivation, stress, and overstimulation can mimic ADHD symptoms, making it hard to tell what's really going on. Large class sizes mean less individualized attention. Teachers focus on managing the group. Frustrated or bored children are often seen as problems to be fixed. The easiest solution is often a medical evaluation, shifting the focus from the environment to the child. Are we diagnosing children or diagnosing the system? The answer isn't always clear. Pharmaceutical marketing is another force behind rising ADHD diagnoses. While direct advertising is restricted, companies sponsor teacher seminars and create parent-friendly materials promoting medication as the solution. The message is clear. Medication unlocks a child's potential and ensures academic success. Testimonials and images of thriving children make medication seem like the obvious answer. Doctors, too, are targeted with information that can bias them toward prescribing. When parents arrive at clinics already primed to expect medication, prescriptions become likely. Medication can be life-changing for some, but aggressive marketing makes it seem like the first and only option. This medicalizes a wide range of childhood behaviors, sometimes too quickly. For parents, it's hard to separate genuine advice from marketing, especially when desperate to help their child. The challenge is finding balanced, unbiased guidance. To understand the reality, we must listen to parents and teachers. Park Ji-young, whose son was diagnosed in 2nd grade, recalls relief at finally having an explanation and the improvement after medication. But she misses her son's bubbly personality and worries about long-term effects. Kim Min-hee, a veteran teacher, feels pressure to keep every child performing. She recommends evaluations because she lacks resources to support struggling students. Medication helps manage the class, but she wonders if it's just a quick fix. Lee Soo-jin, another parent, chose a different path for her creative daughter, diagnosed with inattentive type ADHD. Instead of medication, they tried play and art therapy, worked with teachers, and created routines at home. Progress is slow, but her daughter remains her true self. These stories reveal the complexity behind every diagnosis. For some, medication is transformative. For others, it raises concerns about side effects and identity. Teachers feel torn between helping the class and supporting individual needs. Parents juggle love, worry, and societal pressure. There's no single answer, just families and educators doing their best in a high-pressure system. Every decision is personal, emotional, and shaped by the environment. Behind every diagnosis is a child, a family, and a community searching for the right path. The statistics are real, but so are the stories of hope, doubt, and resilience. These voices remind us, every child's journey is unique. The challenge is finding what truly helps each one thrive. And that takes more than a prescription. A balanced approach is essential. Medication can help, but it's not the only answer. True support means partnership between parents, teachers, and therapists, focusing on skills and environment, not just symptoms. Behavioral therapy is a powerful tool. Parent training, positive reinforcement, and clear routines can make a big difference. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps children develop coping skills and self-awareness. Play and art therapy offer safe spaces for self-expression and emotional growth. Classroom changes, like seating arrangements, breaking tasks into steps, and allowing movement breaks, can help children focus and succeed. At home, structure and routine are vital. Visual schedules, quiet homework spaces, and healthy habits support attention and well-being. Sleep, nutrition, and unstructured play are foundational for every child, especially those with ADHD. These strategies require effort, but they build confidence and resilience. Medication may be part of the plan, but it shouldn't be the whole plan. The goal is to empower children to thrive as themselves, not just fit in. Every child deserves a support system that sees their strengths. Let's invest in their long-term well-being. The rise in ADHD diagnosis in Korea is complex, driven by academic pressure, awareness, marketing, and real struggles. Our education system can highlight or worsen symptoms, making it hard to tell what's ADHD and what's a reaction to stress. Diagnoses are happening earlier and more often, raising questions about the long-term impact of medicalizing childhood. The answer isn't to reject diagnosis or medication, but to seek a thoughtful, holistic approach. Awareness is key, of pressures, of diverse symptoms, and of all available supports. Parents must advocate for their children, ask questions, and explore every option. Teachers need resources and collaboration to support every learner. As a society, we must ask, are we building a system where all children can thrive? Every child deserves to be seen, understood, and supported for who they are. By leading with empathy and knowledge, we can raise not just successful students, but happy, resilient human beings.